Hi, I'm Jen.
Hi, I'm Rene.
And welcome to Marriage Plus Business. It's been a few weeks since we've sat down here at the coffee table, dinner table, and caught up with you. And so let's talk about catching up. What have you been up to?
Well, since the start of the year, 2020, I've been busy with a couple of projects, some design, some art. I haven't had time to do my own art, which is fine, but that just means I'll probably have to be catching up at the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been pretty normal for me as far as everything else that we've been doing all of last year, especially toward the end as like I've started picking up steam with projects. So the only exception would be what's been different has been the events we've had over the past 2 weeks, I think now, between your Rockstar Summit and Monterey Swing Fest.
Yes.
So it's been pretty busy.
Oh,
we had a breather in between.
A little bit. Well,
a little bit.
You did. I didn't.
Right. Yeah, we had a couple of days this week before the dance convention, took off at the end of this weekend. But then as we come into this week, we're going to have some time to get caught up with work. And I think that's what we're going to talk about is like catching up and, the approach to all that.
Yeah.
There's quite a few things that we have going on that are still going on no matter what we're doing, no matter what events we're doing that, pull us away from our daily work and just moving forward, moving along.
We have, at least I have, some really big goals in 2020. I want to stretch into my vision of what 2020 is going to look like. And I'm working with several business coaches. And so I'm doing a lot of homework about what do I want Rockstar Marketing to look like and how do I want to increase our revenue. And it's really just been a very active and busy first half of the first month of 2020. So we started off with hiring a new employee. So now we have 7 people in our Rockstar Marketing squad, ourselves plus 5 others. It's super exciting because they all just bring some really incredible things to the table. And part of how I've been able to catch up is by delegating. So yay, team. We had our 2nd annual Rockstar Summit here in Monterey, where we invited our Rockstar clients to come from all over the country and join us here in Monterey. And it was epic. It was super fun. A lot of the people who came for the very first year in 2019 returned here in 2020. And a really good time was had by all. We had people from Missouri and Virginia, North Carolina, Seattle, Washington State, all over California. I know I'm missing. Oh, Nevada. And I'm sure there's some more that I'm missing. But we had a really, really great time. Everyone had a fun thing.
Yeah, there was enough activities to go around for whatever we're into, whether it was outdoors or dining and eating.
Oh yeah, we ate our way through the peninsula.
Like bonding time within like different groups. So that was great.
Yeah, and then after that, Rene and the cat stayed home while I went to Houston, and I taught a little mini presentation about marketing to the ASA chapter in Houston. And that was super fun. Got to meet some folks, including shout out to Trina Martin, who is in the Global Leadership Program with me under Susie Carter. She lives in Houston, so we got a chance to meet in person, and she came out and watched me speak. And I was invited by Catherine and Sebrin Vanderpool, and they were gracious hosts, and that was super fun, sharing my knowledge about marketing with the auto repair world in Houston. And then I got home in time to start teaching the beginner boot camp for West Coast Swing at Monterey Swing Fest. We had a blast in our classes, didn't we?
We always do, and it's so cool when we have people that come in and they're enthusiastic and they're actually knew how to do a lot of the stuff. It's just a matter of kind of just refining But this is like a class that takes place at a dance convention, essentially here in Monterey, California. And the event is called Monterey Swing Fest. It's for West Coast swing dancing, and the event has 3 classes, 3 days in a row, 2 hours each, where they're offering open free classes to the public where anyone can come and take the class. And then it was ourselves and another instructor who helped out the event by encouraging and fostering the dance, and showing people who may not have done this before
Yeah, we love our beginners.
something new to do and have have fun
Super, super fun.
with West
And
Coast swing
then,
dancing.
then we competed.
Then we competed, we
Social
socialized,
danced.
we social danced as well.
Took friends out for food because Monterey has so many wonderful restaurants and places to drink wines. We had a good old time there.
Right.
And now we're just catching up on all the work.
So that's where we're at now. So between work events, travel for Jen, and then another
Dance events.
event, there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
time that is spent away from our normal activities,
Mhm.
work, but these events are fun, and they're important.
They
So
nourish
now-
the soul.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, they really nourish our
They
souls.
do. They definitely do.
January is such an interesting time, right? Because January is slow for a lot of people. But January is I would say January is arguably one of our busiest months of the year. Because with dancing, people tend to have New Year's resolutions that they want to get out more and they want to go dance and learn something new. So whereas the traditional marketing stuff takes kind of a back seat in January because most businesses are having a slow quarter. The dancing, on the other hand, is just crazy busy. And unfortunately, I would say that 2020 so far is pretty strong because it really has not been slow with Rockstar Marketing. We've been getting a lot of projects, a lot of requests for our services, which is super awesome, and that feels great. So it's just exciting times. And so now that we've gotten through those 3 events, the summit, me going to Houston, and Monterey Swing Fest, now I've got to catch up on all my homework from my business coaches and
Yeah, you have a lot
get my
going on.
business plan together and just do a lot of cool stuff that will help me stretch and grow, because the goal, of course, is to start targeting other vertical markets. I've already dominated the auto repair industry, and now I want to seek accounting and medical and dental, veterinary, engineering firms, attorneys, and consulting firms. So my goal for 2020 is for us to really step it up and target those new industries for us. They're not really new industries, obviously, and we actually have history in those industries. Over the 10 years of doing business, I have actually worked with every single one of those industries. However, we've just been so niche in the auto repair world that now we want to expand into other markets. So that's exciting. And our
Definitely
Rockstar Squad's going to do some amazing things this year. So it's just really fun. And I'll confess, before we got on camera, I was stressing over all the emails I've got to respond to, because those emails pop up. And there's a lot of them. And it's so interesting, right? Because it's January, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, let's get going on a lot of stuff. So the email volume is just really interesting. And we answer a lot of reviews on Google. And there's an interesting thing that Google has done recently. Even Seth Godin wrote about it in one of his blogs, that they have started taking the Google My Business reviews and put them under promotions tab, which kind of puts them in a quasi spam filter, and it's not easy to catch all of them. So sometimes I'm missing some reviews. Still love you, Google, but please fix that.
What is this tabs you're talking about? I don't use Gmail.
Oh, when you're in Gmail, you have Google's trying to sort things out for you, so they're trying to be helpful, and they're trying to place things under promotions or updates or social. Now, I did not create those tabs for myself, and there's also Boxby, or Boxby is like the spam filter one. But yeah, they're trying to be helpful, but it's Google My
It's not
Business.
helping you.
And so what I have to do is I have to go in, uncheck promotions, and hopefully Google will learn. This is my hope that Google will learn that no, don't throw Google My Business reviews into the promotions because they could get lost easily. And so I'm catching up partly because a lot of the notifications that I would get regularly in my normal inbox are kind of going, and I don't always filter them, or it's just weird. It's just weird. So I don't know, small first world problems, not really a big deal, but dang, the volume of emails to catch on is exacerbated by that issue. So that's what's going on with me.
That is a bummer.
Yeah. Tell us about the projects you've been working on.
There are a few that are definitely graphic design related, and they are projects that range from like brochure design to like revamping or modifying a logo. Nothing too terribly difficult or challenging even, but not that I don't like mind a challenge or anything like that, but they are just projects that are on the graphic design end of things. So when it comes to projects that are art related though, there's a few that I have. There's one I need to start on, which I will be starting on this week. It's kind of a series of portraits.
Oh, that'll be a fun project.
Yeah, and there's one that was started last year, very end of last year. That's based on a theme, I should say. Just it's a fun theme, and that one is being looked at right now by the client. And that one is an illustration that probably has a good 30, maybe 40 hours into it.
Yeah, you took a lot of time on that one.
Yeah, and when we have those types of projects, they just take that amount of time.
It is kind of interesting because non-artists, we have no idea how much time it takes to create a piece of art.
Yeah, so if you ever look at a painting, it's really hard to determine just by looking at something the time that went into it, because you can look at a piece of paint or a piece of art, and it can be just anywhere, all over the time, as far as like how long someone has taken to complete that piece. And just because it looks one way or another, you just never know what it took to arrive at that final
and your stuff
piece.
is always such great quality. And this particular illustration is super fun. It has a lot of stuff going on in it because the client requested that. It's kind of got this underwater scene with cars and scuba divers. It's like super, super cool and fun. And
yeah, it's a fun
great project. But you're right. Like they asked you, like, can we have this now? And it's like, because it takes time. And because you are so meticulous and detailed, the average person does not know how long it takes to put something like that together. I think it's partly because we're undereducated as far as how things go, but we're in such an instant society. Like I'm replying to reviews and emails like this, and we're so used to that it's like, oh, that's right. Art takes time.
I think we're in an era where art has been put almost like on a commodity type level, especially like when you go to a store and you see a painting that is like mass produced, and people don't know that it's necessarily mass produced, but that original image was originally painted and conceived somewhere, and that took some time. But then once you put it and you replicate or you mass produce it and you're selling it for $20-$30, and someone comes and asks you to do an illustration, a custom illustration for $20 or $30, and you tell them, well, it's probably going to cost like 10 times that much.
Right,
or
because
maybe
of the time
20
involved.
or 20 or 30 times that much.
Right.
Because you're paying for like an original, and then they either will be able to afford that or they won't. That's the bottom line, right? So if they can't, well, they'll just go somewhere else, and the quality will speak for itself. But when it comes to art, it is time consuming. There is, like any other design project, there's some back and forth, which is expected. And then there are projects that I work that blend the two of those, where it's more graphic, but on the other end, it also takes a lot of like conceptualizing, which is, for me, the concept is always much harder and difficult than the execution.
Oh, really?
It is, yeah. At least, to my level. At my level, I would say that if I know what I'm supposed to be drawing,
Mm-hmm.
what the intended output is for, and if I have the idea like roughly developed and sketched, something that is at the beginning stage very solid, then it's easy to execute.
Mm.
It's like anything else, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's when you have
Given
to
the parameters.
given the parameters, yeah.
And it's so much easier to edit than it is to create. The editing process is faster than the creation process. Yeah.
Right. So those are the kinds of projects I have right now in my queue, and then, we got a little backed up because of the events that we were attending.
Mm-hmm.
And those events that we were attending, it's not like we stopped work to go play, because the summit is tied
Everything
into
that we did
marketing.
was work.
The
Yeah.
dancing, we also
It was
teach
fun
dance.
work, but it was still work. Everything that we did was work related. But you're right. It's so much fun. It's hard to call it work because we love it so much, right? When you're playing in your sandbox.
Right. But it's still work related. Like even the dance,
Mm-hmm.
if we can get people to show up who showed up at that class at the mention of the dance convention, who are locals, take a flyer, and they can come to our local dance, and that helps us.
Yeah.
Feed our
private lessons,
dance business, and go into private lessons, or even just have a new dancer, join the
join
community.
Our community. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
keep the funnel and pipeline flowing. Yeah.
Keep it flowing and just keep it going.
It's so much fun.
It's fun to a point.
Yeah.
I have to admit, it is fun to a point. And what
And
I
then
mean by
you're
that
tired.
is like certain things are there's only 24 hours in a day. You
Right.
don't get 25 or 26.
Right. And it really is a time. Like two things on time. One, I have a brand new project that I'm going to be starting with a client, and the client and I've worked together before. I adore this client, and he's requested us to revamp the content on his website, and he budgeted for a short time, but the work is a long time, and so I'm helping him out by doing some of the work myself because I know I'm the fastest, because I really want to make him happy. But people forget that, writing, art, anything creative takes time. And speaking of time, some things you can delegate and other things you can't. The second thing about time is that when we were dancing at Monterey Swing Fest, Rene and I do our very best to dance with as many people as possible. But, you have the energy of your body. You have the number of hours of day that we're teaching, we're competing, we're social dancing. Somehow we got to get some food and some sleep in there. And I have this really nice guy that comes in from out of town, and it's fun dancing with him. And I was just busy dancing with all these people because I'd already danced with this guy a couple times. And I need to get as many people addressed as possible because we're the hosts of this party, sort of. We're not the event directors, we don't put it on, but because we're the local teachers, we're very much the social arms of this, and we also just love to welcome everybody to Monterey. I mean, Monterey's gorgeous, right? So we want to welcome them. And he was chasing me down for a dance, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I got people ahead of you, and I'm tired, and I can't do it right now. And I felt so badly. I got him the next day.
Did you put him on a queue and you're number 27 on the list?
Pretty much.
I don't do that. I'm like,
well,
if I miss somebody, I'm like,
I'm trying
I'll try
to be.
And get you. But if I don't, I'm like, I'll just go to the next one.
Oh, okay. Well, I try to answer everyone's requests to dance, and I'm trying to put them in order, and then I got to find the person who's next, and it's a little chaotic, especially when the lights are dim and you can't always see them. Where are they?
Well, that's just
sometimes
the perfect
hard to
excuse.
find you. Yeah.
I just
well,
couldn't
anyway,
see you.
The next day I got to him and I was like, I owe you a dance. Please let's dance. And then he kind of gave me hell for not dancing with him, and it was just like, dude, I'm tired.
Man,
really? I'm tired, and I have more going on than just dancing with you, sweetheart. But I wanted him to feel good because I really want to give everybody their best dance. I take real pride in my work and in everything that I do. So when I'm working and I'm writing content for websites or creating social media posts or blogs or answering customer reviews, I'm taking the time, and I don't want to play catch up. I want to actually have enough time to do quality. Because sometimes when I'm catching up on stuff, things get sloppy. And so I would prefer, in my world, to plan ahead and get as much work done ahead of time, so the catch up is not overwhelming or sloppy. And same thing with my dancing. You know, I really want everyone to feel loved and welcomed and encouraged. And I want to plan things out. And then I need to go get some rest when I'm tired. Because, you know, we're getting up early, we're staying up late. I mean, Renee and I are going to bed at like 3 and 4 in the morning because that's what goes on at these dance conventions. And then we get up early so we can go teach the next day.
We do that 2 days.
Yeah. So I'm really proud that, like, we didn't get super sick. We did get sick after the summit, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, you were sick after our trip.
Oh no, I got sick
Florida.
after Florida. That's
You-
right. And then
you
I healed up
and
enough to
I
do
never
the
got
summit.
full blown, but
That's right. But then we've got these lingering
even
coughs.
now I've still have a cough.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm just super proud that I just didn't get super sick and stay sick for a long time, because when we're doing that kind of bam, 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 back to back, you know, I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well. I loved going to Houston, but I didn't sleep well at all for a few days, and I certainly didn't eat well. Yes, I was fed. I just overate, and I don't do well when I eat because of the time to eat, and I have to catch a flight versus when I'm hungry, right? So first world problems, really. How lucky am I to have these issues? Really, it's not a big deal, but catching up.
Yeah, catching up. So what do you do to catch up?
Yeah.
What do you do anything different other than working frantically?
Mm.
You're a pretty good planner.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good planner, so
I like to plan because I don't like chaos. I really don't. I really work hard at scheduling everything out in advance. And sometimes I have to just, you know, handle what's happening right in front of me, what drops down on my lap. How do you do it? What are your, because you're Mr. Mellow. Like, nothing ever seems to rile you. How do you
well, I have
feel about catching
I have
up?
my lists, right, of stuff I need to do, and some things are more urgent than others. Like, some things will just pop up to where you have to address it then and there because it was totally from out of left field. So
Mm-hmm.
that's not even a matter of catch up. That's like a matter of, like, that's something that's like a pop up, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just popped up into the whole.
And it reprioritizes everything.
Yeah, or just it bumps things down. But when it comes to catch up, I think I work either faster, or I just explain, you know, what the reality is as far as getting something done. I haven't had to do that so far yet. There hasn't been anything that's been too time crunch wise, but time sensitive crunch wise, I should say. But there's a few that once I get rolling on some projects, like specifically art, that's going to take some time. So I mean, that just means, you know, working longer days, which is perfect, because when it comes to working longer days making art, that's where I'd rather be.
Yeah.
Doing that. And so it makes it possible for me to treat the daytime as working with customers or clients where I'm on their time schedule, because they have like a brick and mortar, and for them they're just working, you know, 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or whatever. Whereas with an art project, I just put it in a different bucket, because I tend to be able to focus on that kind of work after hours or before hours. My ideal working schedule is to get up super early, like as early as 5 if I can do it, and then get up early.
You haven't been doing it lately. I think you've needed to catch up on your sleep.
I won't have to catch up on sleep if I go to bed at 10, because
but we haven't been going to bed at 10.
Yeah, because of the events and hosting people, so it makes it.
Oh yeah, and then last night I went with Brian over to Oakland to go see Grant
Cardone.
Cardone.
To go see Grant Cardone.
And that was a 3-hour event. Plus,
how was Mr. Cardone?
Oh, it was awesome. Grant Cardone.
Cardone.
Anyway, it was a 2.5 hour drive up and a 2.5 hour drive back. So by the time I got home, it was like 1 a.m. So yeah, we slept in a little bit.
That was late, yeah.
But it was worth it. Thanks, Grant Cardone. Uncle G learned some cool stuff. So yeah. What are you going to be doing for the rest of the month? Do you have things that you need to do to get you going on your goals for 2020? And what are your goals for 2020?
I think I talked about them in a previous.
I think you did too. I just can't remember.
Neither can I. Why, that's not good, is it?
You can make up new goals.
It was to do more art, but I
Is
will
it bad
be,
that I can't
will
remember?
be making more art for my own. My own. I'm not sure what you even call it, but for my own art. Yeah, for my art. I had a plan of being able to put more out and be more behind the camera. I keep saying behind the camera, I mean in front of the camera. Or at least putting more content out, like at least 2 pieces a day, because that's something we're telling our clients that, like, you know, if you can do that. Obviously they can't because they're super busy. It takes a lot of dedication.
It takes a lot of work to put out 2 unique original pieces of content.
Although I will say,
video wise,
I will say, like, if there's a fine line between like unique and like being too perfectionist about something. And it's, I think it's really coming down to what is it you want to share, and what's the message, and then figuring out what's the best way to impart whatever those concepts or ideas might be, and then spread them, and worry more about how you're going to spread them, the different ways, than about how are you going to make the content. It's important to figure out how you're going to make it, and there's a way to take a single piece of content and then
break it up.
Yeah, sample it.
Yeah.
And kind of break it down and then put that out for everyone to kind of to get their branding going. Because I think a lot of that is branding, whether you're an artist or an auto repair place or some other profession. You want to make sure that your branding becomes super preeminent when it comes to your online presence. Because
but wait, there's more. I mean, I had a great meeting with Megan, who works with Susie Carter. And yeah, you've got to create the content, but then you have to go out and connect with all the people so you can grow your followers and friends and network. So just as much as it takes time to create and develop and post that content, it takes also another chunk of time to expand your network.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
And that is just as critical as creating that content. And yeah, I mean,
are you talking about engagement online?
Yeah, engagement online,
Okay.
like finding new people to follow, engaging with them, striking up a conversation, creating new relationships. I mean, it is work. It is time. And you know what's funny with the catch-up theme of today? I feel like I'm catching up on trying to do that. So here's a funny little story. Back when I was in 2007 and MySpace was the dominant social media channel, and Facebook and Twitter were in their infancy as, getting mass adoption, getting online for 15 minutes was all I needed. And I had the ability to add people more freely on MySpace and Facebook and Twitter than the parameters allow for today. It was a Wild West, and there wasn't like a whole bunch of limits. We knew we had a limit of 5,000 followers, but really it was like the rules were just a little easier, and it wasn't so big that it was hard to dominate. So when I qualified for the Grammy nominations on my music, it was because I was easily able to get a good chunk of attention back in the early days, right? Sure. And I knew back then that I had to add people and like and engage, and I've always known this. But over time, especially now that I am the owner of a very successful marketing agency, and we handle the social media accounts for 60 clients, which is awesome. And we create 2 posts per week for them. We create monthly blogs. We answer their customer reviews. But I admit, one of the things that has fallen down is the ability to go out and find new followers. And it's partly because of the parameters changing. Facebook in particular wants you to boost posts and do paid advertising versus the organic methods that we used to do as recently as 2 years ago 5 years ago it was so much easier, but now their model is shifting, so we have to shift along with that. But it's like the joke of the cobbler's children don't have shoes. Here I'm doing all the work, and I've forgotten to like market my own business and boost my own followers. It's kind of ironic that here I am, this social media guru, and I haven't been working on my own followers. That's like so dumb. But it's where I'm at because I'm working so hard supporting my customers. So it's just an interesting notice. And so we had a team meeting. Our Rockstar Squad is going to help us audit and look at what it is that we're doing. And then we're all going to take an active approach of marketing, Rockstar marketing, which is just, it just cracks me up. I mean, yeah, we're a marketing agency and I haven't been marketing myself. So dumb.
That's just the way it goes when you're
So
busy working
dumb.
on your business.
I know.
No, working.
It's the
Is it
stupidest
working
thing.
on your business or working in your
Yeah,
business?
well, both, right?
I
And
guess you're working in your business. Now you get to work on your business.
it's so silly, right? And how did I come to this? Well, because the good news of all this is because we've become the top content marketing agency in the auto repair industry. So a lot of leads come to me naturally. I don't have to go out and seek as much attention as I did because I've already earned it. But now that we're going to be targeting new vertical markets, it's like, oh yeah, I got to go out and hustle again. It's just funny. I mean, it's really stupid. But like, have you ever felt, seriously, when you're in business for yourself, like, do you remember when you first started and all you could do was hustle because you needed money, you needed clients, right? And then time went on and you built your business, and then things started getting a little bit more predictable over time. And then you reached a point where it's like, dang, I've got enough to sustain me. This feels pretty good. And then it's time to like turn over a new leaf or do something different. And then you're like, oh yeah, I got to start over again. Or I need to restart that thing that I'd started and kind of started to neglect. So it just cracks me up.
For me, when it comes to catching up, I think the best thing that I can do just for my own working personal habit style is to come up with a regular routine that includes getting up at a regular time. And that's the cat making noise in the background.
She's tearing up a
She's
cardboard
tearing up a
box.
That's okay. We'll
She
be fine.
She wants to claw the box.
She's
Sorry.
cute.
She's very cute.
She's good. We just ignore her. She'll be fine.
Ignore the cat.
We'll be fine. What was I saying? And for me, it comes down to being able to maintain a regular schedule. Like lunch is always at 12.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I haven't gotten that good yet, but I'm glad you're doing that.
Taking a break at 3. I recently changed one of my workstations in my room, my studio, so that it's a standing station. So I haven't had I've used it once actually, but I'm really looking forward to being able to stand and sit as I work. And it's mostly for my digital painting, but that's a pretty big part of what I do, right? Is painting or creating artwork on my digital, on the iPad. So I'm looking forward to being able to give my body, even within the context of a working environment, the variety of just being able to move. So I think it makes it easier for me to be in an efficient state, and kind of like in a constantly moving state instead of so locked down like this. Yeah. Because if you are locked down like this, like it's not going to kill you to stop for 10 minutes to do something, because if you don't have 10 minutes, and I'm guilty of this, I don't do that, but like I used to tell myself I should just get up and I've got a pair of 20-pound dumbbells that I can just push around or stand up and stretch and there's apps for everything. And I think some people have apps that remind them, or set an alarm to get up. But with this desk, I'm excited to see how it actually pans out. I even bought this chair that goes up.
It's a really tall chair.
It goes up probably about to here,
like
maybe about
seriously,
34, 35 inches.
I'm afraid to sit in it. It's so high. I feel like an adult in like a giant little, sorry, what am I trying to say? I feel like a little girl in a chair because the chair is so giant and so tall that I feel small. So I see this thing and it's just tall. There's no way my feet could touch the ground sitting in that chair. It's scary. I'm gonna call it the lifeguard chair.
Yeah, it
It's
could
like
be
a
that.
lifeguard chair.
Or the director's seat, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Director seat's kind of low. Lifeguard chair is up there. It's like you gotta climb up it.
Yeah, it's pretty tall.
Anyway, so it's kind of funny though because you got your desk set up for you to stand, but you got a tall chair. So are you really standing?
That's for when I do want to sit, because that station
Oh,
is
it's
still.
not motorized. It's all one level unless you take it apart.
The table doesn't
That's
move.
right.
It's a drafting table that's got like these little knobs that you can tighten on all four legs.
But it doesn't go up and
But
down
it-
easily.
No, not without great, not without great struggle, because there's a computer on there's a monitor, and then I've got stuff underneath the drafting table, so it takes quite a bit of working out to put it from one level to the other.
Yeah.
But as far as catching up, I think when you do have a lot of work, it's just you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to, so that way you can perform efficiently. Like it's all about taking care of the customer, but
Yeah.
like making sure that we're getting enough water and then getting enough sleep. Like tonight, hopefully
Getting
we'll
out,
get to bed early.
going for a walk, eating right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we're doing all these activities and travel things,
It's hard.
It's like
It's hard to be
I haven't
consistent.
been to the gym at all this year, and it's the 21st of January.
I went once.
So much for the New Year's resolutions.
That's still my goal, to get up at 5, hit the gym, come back by 5:30, maybe have a small little breakfast.
So
and then
maybe
start
we should do
working
that tomorrow, and then we report back to them next week
in the following
if
week.
we did it.
So I've already made one resolve this year. I don't know if we talked about it.
Hmm.
As far as like being
Oh.
efficient, it's like eating. It's in regards to eating. So like one of the things I like potato chips. I like sandwiches, and I like fries, and like burgers.
Fries.
But I believe in making little tweaks to your system or your progress or your process in order to just kind of make things sustainable, and because sustainable is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, right. So like
Mm-hmm.
for every hamburger I eat, excuse me. For every hamburger I can't keep saying heat.
Well,
If I order a hamburger,
you do nuke the White Castle cheeseburger, so technically he
Yeah.
heats them before he eats them.
we never have a problem eating fries at home because we don't make fries at home.
Yeah, we don't make fries at home. You don't want my cooking.
Anyway, the big reveal is like I've decided that this year I'm not going to have any fries with my burgers
Or any potato chips with
my
his burgers.
sandwiches.
Yeah, so you can have a burger but no fries.
Right.
Or
I
you
can
have
order
fries,
fries,
but
but
no
then
burger.
I don't want to order a burger at the same time.
A
So,
salad instead.
salad, yeah. Salads are good, a bowl of fruit or whatever. So
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm trying to shed 100 pounds, because
No.
that wouldn't be good. But like I just want to make sure like I, trying to take a little bit better care of myself, just even if it's making that small little tweak
Yeah.
in my diet, right? So just changing
Right.
those little things, and just because that's pretty easy to do, I think. And then drinking more water, and like getting more sleep.
Yeah.
I once heard that like, just people would see tremendous results if they just got more sleep.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
I see an increase in my health when I get enough sleep. Hormones.
Yeah.
And then also too, like I can't say that I have any earth-shattering resolutions, but one of the things that I put on my vision board, we did vision boards at our Rockstar Summit, and one of the things that I would like to do is to become a little bit more polished. And I am not polished right now. And I'm kind of doing that intentionally. Let me explain. So I recognize that as I go out in the world and we do more video stuff, and I do more public speaking and more teaching of my marketing classes, I recognize I'm going to be on camera quite a bit. I don't wear makeup. I don't like makeup. I really dislike makeup, to be quite frank about it. And I just dislike it because, quite frankly, it's money that I don't want to spend. I have long eyelashes. If I wear mascara, it usually touches my glasses and it's annoying and it makes marks all over the place. I kind of look like a raccoon.
I saw a video of a girl who
Yeah.
had those really long eyelashes, and I don't know if they're real or not, but she was on a boat, speedboat. Someone filmed her going on the water, and her eyelashes were all
No way.
Or like,
Seriously?
that
Okay,
was
that's
really
that's
bizarre.
kind of that's kind of funny.
But kind of funny too.
Well, I mean, I know that long eyelashes are the big deal, and I naturally have them. I just don't put
Like
any mascara.
naturally long eyelashes.
I have naturally long eyelashes. I don't go crazy about it. I don't even wear mascara. I don't need to. I feel like when I do wear mascara, it touches my eyes. And so I get this like
And
this,
everyone's different, right? So
I'm not
everyone's
judging.
different,
I'm
right?
just
Everyone's
saying
different and
I don't like wearing makeup. I like
personal style and
yeah. The other people who wear makeup, they look gorgeous.
It's,
I mean, I appreciate it when people, take the time to take care of themselves. But I believe in really good skincare. I do invest in good skincare, but I don't do Botox or anything like that. But I just like have really good quality, high end skincare products. And you have this beautiful skin naturally. We were having a conversation about earlier. He has the most beautiful skin. I love my husband. I think he's absolutely gorgeous, and he has this beautiful Asian
It's
Latino
oily, though.
skin that has oil, but he doesn't have any wrinkles. Look at that. Look at that face.
Oh, I'll get wrinkles.
But me, oh my gosh, I have dry skin. I have wrinkles everywhere. They're happy lines. But I do have them. And the thing is that like he's all worried because he's all greasy. And I'm like, dude, you have the most beautiful skin. Don't worry about it. And I'm having kind of this, okay, I confess, I'm having an existential crisis about getting a polished look. Because I recognize that with cameras, I've been told by makeup artists that I need to take away any glare or shine
Isn't
from
that
my
if you're
face.
filming something that's
Yeah,
like
or under bright lights, which we are
big,
under,
huge
but like
type things, but things like
I don't
this,
really see shininess. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you don't have the same kind of lighting that you would have to
True.
contend with here that you would at a
True.
huge, like if you're speaking at an
Right.
event that has like lights from everywhere, and then there's
Right.
heat, and then you sweat, and
Alright.
so.
Yeah, well, I sweat on the dance floor all the time. It doesn't really bother me.
Well, if
but-
you have hot lights in front of you,
I guess.
it could get warm.
But like, I recognize that as a public speaker, people are going to judge me on my looks. So, I mean, I went shopping recently, and here's the thing. Oh my gosh. I do not like skirts or dresses. I just don't. My thighs touch, they chafe. I prefer pants. Even as a little girl, put me in shorts or pants. Don't put me in a dress. I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable in them. I feel vulnerable in dresses. I mean, yes, they're pretty, but like the wind blows. I can't really dance in them. I can't really ride a bicycle. I can't do a lot of stuff when I'm wearing a skirt. I feel like I'm compromised in my movement. And I just really like comfort. I don't do fancy high-heeled shoes because my feet they need to be comfortable. I will not tolerate blisters. I will not tolerate pain because I dance. And I will wear the heeled dance shoes that will give me the clean lines on the dance floor. But that's really the only time you ever see me wearing heels. And if I do wear a heel, it's like a low heel. It's never, I mean, I've had fun wearing heels in the past, but my feet have gotten to a point where they're just not happy
do that anymore
when I'm in the high heels. And so here I am, I wanted to be more polished, but I want to also hold on to my authenticity. I mean, I don't want to become a caricature of me. I still want to be me, just maybe a more polished version of me. So I intentionally, in this video, my hair's like, this is what I look like. This is what I look like when my hair's in my face and I throw it up in a little quasi bun thing.
Well, check this out.
Huh.
Seth Godin, there was an email that came in on the power or the use of am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it. Did you see this?
I am living in Monterey versus I am a vegan.
Right.
One is hold
one
on.
Is,
no.
One is
no, the one that he said was okay.
I am 45 years old.
I am 49 years
Right.
old. That is like, well, that is I am. You have no power over that. But I am vegan, which I'm not. But that was his example.
Right.
Like that is a choice.
Yeah, that's a choice.
So there you go. I am authentic. That is a choice. And I am exploring this makeup thing.
Which means, that frown could turn upside down.
So really what I'm looking for, if any of you guys can help me, is I'm looking for no makeup. Does that make sense? Like, if I could just put like one thing on my face and I'm done, like that would be awesome. None of this layered crap. And I've been watching tutorials like how to have a natural look. Oh my God, the amount of work that they put into to look like I do now. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why not just take good care of your skin? I don't know. Again, it's I'm not comfortable with it, and I don't judge those that do it. I mean, gosh, I'm watching these tutorials and I'm amazed and impressed by all of their talents, but like I lack those skills, just like I lack the desire to cook. I cook because I know I need to eat, but I'm not the person who's playing in the kitchen. I want to get in and out of that kitchen as fast as possible because it's not my happy place.
That's true.
And I came to terms with something like that with the gym too. It's like, oh, I haven't been to the gym. Self flailing. Oh, I'm a bad person because I haven't been to the gym. But if you just observe it, it's like the gym is not my happy place. I really like my trainer. Trainer's great. He's a nice guy. But I'd rather be outside or be here at home working on the floor doing some stretches. I don't really want to go to a place to sweat. I can do that at home, or I can do that outside or on the dance floor. It's like, I don't know. I'm just coming up with
Well, you have to do what makes you feel happy,
right,
in terms of what you want to accomplish, whether it's
exactly,
like dressing up or
choosing,
exercising.
Yeah,
you're going to be more inclined to do those activities, right? As they say, if
yeah,
you're really into it. It's like there is like no like amount of money you can pay me to not, like, let's say, like, make art.
Yeah,
you know you
it
couldn't
is so in your
you couldn't
blood.
give me all the money in Donald Trump's account and say, I don't want you to make art anymore, therefore you'll be like so rich. I mean,
That would go against the grain of who you are.
and here's the thing,
You'd be
it's like,
unhappy.
yeah, it's like, at the end of the day, I've said it before, I want to be making art, whether it's like my own or for a project or for something.
Mm-hmm.
I just like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to tell me to go and make art. Like, I'll even make art just to make art for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm. And you
so
do such a great job.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when it comes to our motivations, right, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you can't just, you can, but you can't just say, I want to do this because I want to get here. You got to make sure that where you want to get to is really what you want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that way, the things that you do that you wouldn't rather be putting yourself through, it's got to be worth it. So
yeah, and then also too, we can change our minds, right? Like I went shopping, and I got 2 skirts, and I got some sleeveless blouses, which I never buy skirts and I never buy sleeveless blouses, but I thought I would try it. And I wore some of those sleeveless blouses in competition,
mm-hmm.
and I looked good. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
I guess I can rock this.
Yeah,
but still, I'd
but
like
it's also up here in the way you
it
think.
is.
It's the way you think about it. And here's the thing: if it doesn't, if it doesn't, mind over matter, right? It's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't mind, guess what? It doesn't matter.
No, it's true. And then also too, like, we all change, right? The person that I am today and my priorities and my why and what I value is different from what it was 20 years ago. And it will be different 20 years from now.
Could be.
Yeah. I mean, we all have, evolution.
We might just learn that we don't need, $10 million to be happy.
Just 6 million. I don't know. I mean, money does make things a little easier. Money gives you choices. So I'm still very much on the path to creating enough money to be able to retire. And because my dad is in hospice and my 2 grandmothers are still going pretty strong at 96 and 95 at this moment, we got to think about, can our money keep up with our longevity? I mean, that's a real thing. And so our family has been talking about, the cost of long-term care and
mm-hmm.
having a house so you can stay in that house versus going into a care facility. Because I know that there's a debate. Grant Cardone talks about, buy multiple doored residences, meaning multifamily properties, versus single doored properties, which is like a single family home. And one of the things that I am seeing value in and I'm grappling with is my grandmothers both own their homes and they are getting care in their homes because that's where they want to be. They do not want to be in an assisted living facility. And they would not do well, in their own words, if they were in an assisted care facility. Not that that's bad, it's just that that's their own personal choice and they like their privacy and they love their homes and they just don't want to go outside of their homes. They want to be home. And the facility that my dad is at is quite good. They're very caring, compassionate people. They do a great job. It's a lovely facility. When we went and visited, it was nice meeting people and seeing what they have. But I also know that having a place to call home and having the freedom and money to support being cared for at your home versus somewhere else is a pretty big expense. So if we can, hedge our bets and save our money and invest wisely so we can make sure that we're comfortable right up to the bitter end, then, that's important to me. So
you can never start too soon planning.
Right. I mean, I've done a lot in 49 years, and looking at the longevity of the women in our family, they lived to be 100. I got another 49 years in me, so I might very well live to be 98, which is pretty freaking cool, right? So I got to make sure that I got to hustle. I'm a hustler, baby. So that's what we got to do. But I refuse to feel like I'm catching up, though, because I feel like I'm now in my prime and I'm just getting really started. So although, okay, I do feel like sometimes I'm catching up because I see other people my age and they're further ahead of me. But I also have to remember that we all blossom at our own pace.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And that's really all it is how you look at it.
Right. And it's true with social media, a lot of times, and this is why I grapple with the whole, polished makeup look. And it's so easy to look at what's going on in social media and compare yourself to others and go, oh, I'm less than. No, we're not less than. We're just in a different space. You're just then.
You're just then.
And we're seeing everyone's sizzle reel. We're not seeing the behind the scenes. We're not seeing the bloopers. Well, sometimes we do see the bloopers because they're kind of funny. But we're not seeing the meltdowns. We're not seeing the tears. We're not seeing the frustrations. We're not seeing the lost clients. We're not seeing, all the heartaches that go into it. We're not seeing the failed relationships because the social media presence is dominating. There's a lot of put on your face, to be social. And I really want to hold on to my authenticity. I think that's important to me right now. So I am going to try to look a little bit more polished, and you guys can see my evolution. Here's the start. Point A. Where do I go in point B? Point
I don't
B.
even know what authenticity is.
Well, you are so authentic and comfortable in your own skin. You have never.
I am a fish in a fishbowl.
What do you mean by that?
I don't even think the fish knows it's in water.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Do fish and whales and seals, do they know that they're in water? Or do they think of it like we do on air? It's kind of an interesting question. But yeah, I mean, as long as I have known you, in the 12 and a half years that I've known you, I've always called him my guru on the mountain. Like he doesn't worry about stuff. He doesn't compare himself to others. He doesn't freak out about anything. He doesn't get upset about much. I mean, you've always just been at peace. And I so wish I were like that. And you rub off on me a little bit, but I'm still me. and you accept me. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing about what you do is you just do it, and you're very happy doing it. You don't have like existential crises about should I or should
It's
I
weird.
not.
Yeah, it is weird. I've never
You're
thought
so
about
at
that.
comfort with who you are, and that's what I appreciate. And so that actually inspires me to maintain an authenticity, because you are just so comfortable in your own skin.
Well, it is tough when you're actually dealing with outside like influences, because then it's more than just you. You know, it's like you.
Yeah, you have to fit a package.
You have to fit a package because you're dealing with like external, like let's just call it
expectations, appearances. They expect
or
you,
things that are out of your control,
right?
Which is what kind of can breed like this feeling of like,
right.
Well, I gotta do this because of that, and I have to do this and I have to do that because like there's like a perception of like there's something that we are trying to control when we really can't control that outside thing. The only thing you can control is like how you perceive yourself, which is being authentic, and just moving from out of that center zone out instead of trying to jump to meet something. It's like you have to approach it being yourself, and if that thing pushes away from you, well, then it wasn't meant to be.
Well, okay, here's an example I'd like to point out. Okay, so let's look at some dominant male figures on social media and some dominant female figures on social media.
Who we don't see behind the scenes.
We don't see them behind the scenes, which this is just what we see as the presentation. I remembered recently, I recently saw, I mean, this is a while back, but it was Ed Sheeran on stage with Beyonce. And he's got his stubble. He's got his sweatshirt, he's got his jeans, hair's all tousled, and Queen Bee is like dressed in this pink confection of a dress. And the stark comparison of, did he just roll out of bed and she looks like a freaking goddess, right? And then I'll see people that I admire that are male, like Gary Vaynerchuk. He is always like, looking like he could have rolled out of bed or rolled out of a meeting or rolled out of the gym. I mean, Casey Neistat, he also very comfortable, t-shirts, hair slicked back. Like the guys are looking very comfortable in their own skin. And the females that I see are very done up. And that's awesome. They look gorgeous. But I would like to have the freedom to be of a high value, perceived as a high value. I want people to work with me and say, yeah, Jen really knows what she's doing. She is the bomb, and she is the best in her field, and she is authentic. And I even teach this in my marketing classes. I say, fly your freak flag, be authentic, and your tribe will find you, right? So I've been grappling with this because my values and what I teach is fly that freak flag, be yourself, be authentic, don't put on airs for other people, be who you are, know your worth, and your people will find you.
Right.
But in today's media world, it's like, okay, well, I'm being told that I have to follow the double standard. And quite frankly, it kind of irks me. I want to rebel. So I think I'm going to make a public statement. I'm going to do self-care and feel good in my own skin and take care of myself so I feel good about who I am. But if that does not involve makeup or a lot of makeup, then so be it. I'm going to be true to myself. And the people who recognize that I bring a lot of value to the table will appreciate that.
Of course, 100%.
I mean, it's not me to do Botox. Botox is lovely. Believe me, I have marketed for med spas. I know what that's all about. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to do it. That's not interesting to me. No, thank you. I'd rather do other stuff like sleep and eat right, drink water.
All right. All the things that we just should be doing normally just to keep us going no matter what, whether you're working for this or working toward that, like you got to take care of yourself and make sure you're working efficiently and most importantly, like just being happy.
Exactly. I want to maintain who I am so I can continue to be happy with who I am. I really, this isn't meant to be cocky. I really like who I am. I like what I look like. I like my style. It may not be the most polished. I may not be the thinnest, but I'm happy. And I have you. And you think I'm pretty and sexy. So that's all that matters, right?
Of course, it's all that matters is how we treat each other and how we help each other out and how we support each other.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. And carrying over into like business, you got to be yourself. I'm so thankful I'm an artist and I idolize artists because we look at what's being put up and not looking like at ourselves per se, but it's just having a healthy, and this is what's maybe hard, is having a healthy lens at which we look at things, because things can get pretty messed up or pretty ugly if you just start dwelling or looking at one aspect and not knowing like everything you see at face value you can't really take, right? Because you don't know like what's happening behind the camera or what's happening, you know, in someone else's shoes and whatnot.
Yeah, someone could be putting on a Lee press-on smile,
right?
And they're falling apart.
Yeah. So we just got to be, I think, just support each other. And I'm just saying that as like couples, as like people, you know.
Yeah, lift each other up.
And be supportive, and like
have empathy.
Do your best to make yourself happy, so that way you can make others happy.
Yep. Take care of yourself. Like on the plane, they say put on the air mask for yourself before you put it on others.
Right.
The firefighters, they take care of themselves first before they can go out and take care of others. So self-care.
Fish in a fishbowl.
Yep. And catching up. So it's time for us to catch up on our self-care, and maybe we should go to sleep early tonight.
We should probably get some early shut-eye.
Yeah.
So we can get up early and just start productive.
And go to the gym.
Is
it a date tomorrow, Jim?
Not a date, because when you make it a date, it's got to be something that's like has to be.
Okay, you want it to be a choice.
No, not even saying that. It's like it's not a choice whether you want to breathe or eat. Like you have to breathe or eat. Like everything like we do, like should be like you want to do it. Like you should do the work you want to do because like
you love it.
You love it, or you better find something to love in that work. So that way, like you're not just working to go to the lake in your truck with your motor skis or your jet skis, because like that's what you do. It's like I think I've heard somewhere that it's about a work-life balance, but like someone even turned that on its ear. It's like it shouldn't even be a balance.
It's a harmony.
It's a like it's like this. It's like it just is like intertwined. Yeah, it's there should be no give or take even. It's like even
it just is.
It's even deeper than that. It's even more than that. And I know that's hard because like sometimes you know you're doing a job or you're doing some other aspect that you can't get away from. You may not like it, but and I can only just talk on my own experiences. But I've been fortunate to be able to put myself in positions where I am pretty happy. I know I am. I was happy to do what I was doing, and it was like when I was done doing one thing and it was time to do the other thing, it was like I went to that and was like happy to go do it. I never really dreaded, except when I worked maybe in fast food. Yeah. But I was a teen back then. So
that wasn't your happy place.
So it doesn't count. When you're a teen, it's kind of
we all get the crappy jobs when we're teenagers, right? That's kind of the rite of passage, right? You learn, ooh, this is not where I want to be.
Yeah, but like, that's like doing the kind of work we do. It's like, and some people build up to it. Like, I've built up to this. You've built your business, but like working in your business, you love what you do, right? And I love what I do too. So it's like whether I'm doing this or doing the dancing or doing, the art or doing whatever it might be, like it should all like fit together, like in the normal sense of like what it is, like how it is to exist as a person. So like going to the gym, I hate to say it, it's like I don't want to go because I have a date. Like I want to go because I want to go to get physically stronger and to get
Okay.
you know.
Well, we'll
be
see. We'll
fit.
see next week how many
So-
times you went to the gym.
Yeah, dates are usually like either like really good things or they're called appointments.
Oh, okay. However you want to do it.
Yeah,
But they're going to hold us accountable next week.
maybe. We're all 1.5 people watching.
Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed our little visit today. Truly, it's great connecting with you and catching up with you. No pun intended. I love you. Thanks for doing this with me, Mr. Fish Face.
In a fish bowl. I'm a fish in a fish bowl.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.